time to get up. Hello YouTubers, welcome to another episode. As you can see, struggling a little bit to get up out of bed this morning, and I've been struggling really during isolation to get out of bed regardless of the time. And there's a few reasons for that we're going to be talking about today, and hopefully some experience that I've experienced can help you guys get out of bed, get the most out of your day, because there's some times in isolation so far that I've got up really late and I've thought, what am I doing with the rest of this day? I've slept half of it away already and I've not got really any time to do anything else. So now we're going to finish walking Yam, we're going to get to the boat house and then row in the single and talk a little bit about that. Waking up earlier, can you wake up earlier? Should you be waking up at 4 AM? Or should you just be getting up whenever you like? Let's get to it.
Alright so far?
Yep. And that was interesting. Just about to drive off in the Land Rover, and the lady says, stop. I thought something was on the car. I thought she was angry at me, something like that, but no. She asked me, can you carry my bags up the hill please? Because here in Bath there's lots of hilly hills. So she just asked, can you help me carry the bags up the hill? So, a little bit of a twist in today's journey. Carrying some bags up the hill, just giving local residents a little bit of help. But now we're getting in the car, and now we're getting to the boat club. Oh, yeah. And we've made it to the University of Bristol Boat Club to get the boat on the water. So let's get to it, and then we'll talk about how sleep is important and how you can get out of bed. So let's get to it. And we've made it off the water. That was an interesting session because it was the furthest I've went so far in this 3-day streak of being on the water. Very lucky to be able to access the water, access a single. But today we went a little bit further, and it's really interesting because it's the muscles that obviously aren't used to working are getting tired quicker than other muscles. So just like the balancing muscles, I get sort of 3/4 of the way, or today it was 3/4 of the way, and it was like, okay, time to not so much stop, but time to, okay, we need to build up those muscles, get them stronger, get them able to do the distance. But overall, I thought it was pretty good improvement from yesterday. Feeling like I'm getting more confident on the water and feeling like I'm getting sort of the hang of things. But it's a process. Bit of consistency, bit of enjoyment, getting over the initial, oh my goodness, the water is unstable, or the boat is unstable, and just getting better and better, hopefully, or at least that is the plan. But now, as always after a session, it's time to fuel up, because remember, food is fuel, and talking about sleep, how important it is, and how you can, in fact, wake up when you want to wake up. So let's get to it. And we've made it back into the house, and today seems like just random different events keep happening rather than to the subject. But before we get to the subject, finish the food, because remember, food is fuel. Oh, Yam's here. Hi, Yam. Oh, yes. And I got a couple of packages as well. One, I know what this one is, absolutely fantastic, and two, I'm not really sure what this one is. Oh, that makes more sense. It's from The guys over at Hudson said, "Hey Cam and Yam, I'm pleased you survived lockdown. Here's a new jacket for the extra training." Oh, absolutely fantastic. Oh, and it's had a visor in here. Woo-wee. That's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. And for you, those of you that don't know, Hudson let me borrow the boat from them, and that's absolutely awesome for them to do. So the jacket as well. Well, that's pretty cool. I've only got one hand. I'm going to put the camera down. Is that really dark? I've got a jacket. Oh, sick. This little jacket for the water. That's awesome. But the other package as well. So I'm making sure you can see. It's not too light or dark. Over lockdown, I've been doing a little bit of weights, but I want to be able to do weights and not be dependent on the weights themselves. So what I've been doing is some research on weights without actual weights, and which also hopefully will tie into what's happening soon, hopefully, in the channel. But this right here, a resistance band. So this is a pretty strong one, and I've got a couple of other ones somewhere, but these combined, according to the research, hopefully I can use these. Like, these weigh nothing, and you can put them in a bag, put them wherever, in the car or wherever, and you can train the body resistance wise anywhere really. So what I was actually hoping to do was, like, for example, get a little bag going, put the resistance bands in, take Yam a walk down to, there's like a nice field down the hill, and I can do some squats, some deadlifts, throw the ball with Yam, squats, deadlifts, throw the ball for Yam, and do something like that. And these are really, really light, so should be able to do that. And I'll probably make a video about sort of band resistance exercises, or if they work or don't work at some point. But anyway, that's it for mail time. Today, we're talking about sleep, how important it is, and how you could hopefully get up a bit earlier or later. Just getting up when you want to get up is kind of the focus, really. Over lockdown, it's really easy to get up late, or just get up whenever you feel like getting up. For me, I think the biggest struggle of getting up, not necessarily really early, but just getting up out of bed, is there's no urgency, there's no reason to get out of bed, but there's no sort of, oh well, I'm not really got anything to do today. So say, for example, if I want to do an erg, I've got my erg, so if I want to get up at 12, I can do an erg at 1. If I want to get up at 7 in the morning, I can do an erg at 8. If I get up at 7 in the morning, I can still do an erg at 1. And there's not really any rush to really get around, because there isn't really any sort of scheduling. And so there's a couple of things that I think about when I'm trying to get up early, or at least I'm trying to get up and be feeling productive for my day. And that is, number one, it's accountability. And so what do I mean by that? Well, it's a case of, for example, yesterday I said on the video, or was it the day before? I think it was yesterday, long day. I said, oh, I'm going out to row with Charlie. And Charlie wants to get out in the water at like 2 in the morning. But it's a case of saying, okay, if it's a training partner, or if you're trying to get on the water, if it's a coach or friend or whoever it is, okay, if you're going to be there at 7, 8, 6, 5, 10, whatever time it is, I'm going to have to get out of bed earlier than that time so I can make it to the water for that time. Obviously, in isolation and lockdown, you might not be able to sort of meet people for training or meet people for wherever it is. So it's a case of, well, how do I still get that same accountability but not be with someone in person? Well, there's things like Erg World, for example. You can sort of say to yourself, or say to friends or whoever it is, post on social media, whatever, say, I'm going to be erging at 10 a.m. on Erg World, come and join me. Or text your friend, Do you want to erg tomorrow? Well, we can't erg together. Well, we both connect to Erg World at the same time, and we do an erg together, say at 10 or 9 or whatever it is. And that is a big thing for me getting out of bed. It's okay, I can't not turn up because I said to whether it was Charlie or whoever it is that I would turn up. And that's one of the, if you've ever heard of the November project, it was run or started by a rower at my university, and it was doing sort of Harvard stadiums. We basically run up and down the stadium stairs in Boston and Harvard, or you do hill sprints. He took the idea of, in the rowing team, we used to do hill sprints, we used to do stadiums, we used to do early morning rows, whatever it was, but we all used to do them. We all used to do them every morning, and sometimes it was up at 4, up at 5, whatever it is, but we all used to do that. So he took that idea into this November project, the idea that when it gets cold, when it gets rubbish weather outside, when you just don't want to get out of bed, how do you get out of bed? And you use that accountability. So what they did was they made Facebook groups and different groups like that, and you say you talk to your friends who are there, you make a verbal that you're going to turn up, whether that's in person, virtually, whatever it is, that you're going to turn up. And so then you get a punishment essentially if you don't turn up. One, that's the guilt of saying, well, I said to that person and I'm not turning up, but also you get sort of, I think there was different things about, oh, you might have to run more stairs or things like that as well. And then there's the other side, you get sort of rewarded for the more times you turn up. And so that's the second sort of stage of trying to get up earlier or just getting out of bed. It's rewarding yourself. It is a big thing, getting out and have a productive day. I'm not saying, okay, I've got out of bed today for one day, for the whole day, and I get to have a cheesecake. Not quite like that. More a case of I've got up every morning this week, or maybe it's I've been really productive every day this week, and you reward yourself with something at the end of the week. That could be an extra row. That could be playing with Yam. I'm not sure if you can see Yam. But it could be, it's whatever it is that's rewarding to you, you almost save that till you complete the task of getting out of bed. So reward and accountability are two massive things for hopefully getting you out of bed that little bit early. And it's not a case of, it's no one in the entire world doesn't face this at some point. And in isolation, it's just sort of magnified because sometimes it's on a Sunday, for example, you're like, oh, got nothing to do on a Sunday, so I'm just going to sleep in. But for some of us, it feels like every day is a Sunday at the moment. So it's a case of, well, I'll just sleep in every day. But it's having things, so accountability, reward, and then lastly, having things that you want to get out of bed for. Whether that's for me right now, getting out of bed to row. One, so it's really nice, I enjoy rowing. Two, it's not quite a thing in isolation, but the water's less busy in the morning, as well as the weather generally is quite calm in the morning versus the afternoon, or at least if it's going to be rubbish in the afternoon, it'll be less rubbish in the morning, usually, not all the time. So getting out of bed for me a bit earlier means a more positive experience on the water, as well as just getting on the water. And then, back to the accountability, Charlie can really only row in the mornings, so because he does work. And then, back to the accountability, Charlie can only really row in the mornings because he's busy in the afternoons. So if I tell him I'm going to turn up, I turn up and we row together. And then a lot of people will just get up at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. is the key to success. And I've made a video about this before because there's a lot of videos and a lot of books going around about saying just get up at 4 a.m. and you will be successful. I don't agree with that. Everyone still has to get the right amount of sleep. Everyone still has to be like, okay, if I am getting up at 4, I have to go to bed at 8 or 9. So really, it's a case of not necessarily, oh, you get up late, so therefore you're not going to have a productive day. It's more of just being happier to get out of bed rather than, oh, well, you're not being productive because you slept so late. And that will be it for this video. Before I go on any more about sleep or trying to get out of bed, I think it is really important, especially during isolation, to get out of bed, or at least not spend too much time being unproductive. I think that's pretty much the general, the biggest thing, I think. And as always, Yam Squad, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I will see you tomorrow. What is this, Thursday? It's a throwback Thursday today. I don't know what the throwback is. And tomorrow's Friday, and we've almost made it through another week. And I'll see you in tomorrow's episode.